So joining us now is Peter Brookes from the Heritage Foundation. He is also a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. Thank you so much for joining us. And what do you make about first start with the report about those 17 individuals that were spying for the U.S.? Do you think it's totally a lie, as the president said?
Well, Secretary Pompeo and President Trump have access to better information than you or I, so I take them at their word. But I also think there's probably motivations here on the part of Iran to rally people around the flag, to make the United States look like an enemy, to make the United States look like the problem, when it's really Iran's international behavior that is the problem, Melissa. So, Iran's famous for its propaganda. There's no independent media there. All the media outlets are state-run. So anything coming out of Iran, I think you have to be skeptical of.
When we see the video of the Iranian guard coming down the rope from the helicopter and taking over that tanker,
yeah.
General Jacquin earlier today said that this video is basically meant for the Iranian people at home, that they're trying to look tough because their regime depends on oppressing their people and keeping them in fear. Do you buy that?
Yeah, I think that's true. You see that in a lot of repressive regimes. North Korea, there's a lot of propaganda going around. They have two audiences. One's the domestic audience, and other is the international audience. They want, for instance, they want to see that there's a threat. They want to the Iranian people, to Iran. They want to show the people that they're taking care of that threat. They're not afraid to act, that they're assertive. So, yeah, I think it's certainly a possibility that the Iranians are allowing the people of Iran to see this for their own governmental purposes.
Yeah. And what are the other reasons you think this is going on, and how does it get resolved?
Well, it's a very difficult situation. Obviously, the Iranians are doing things that are run against international law. It's going to have effect across many different areas, from economics to politics to security. Hopefully that the Iranians will stop and reduce these provocations. Iran is the problem. I don't think people realize this. Iran, whether you're talking about Yemen, whether you're talking about Syria, their support of terrorism, their violation of the Iranian nuclear deal by increasing their stockpiles of low-enriched uranium, or increasing their enrichment levels. There's just so many things, and Iran looks like they're trying to pick a fight with us, when all we really want to do right now is to sit down at the table with them and discuss the issues that divide us.
Yeah, you have to wonder if they were so wedded to that old deal. It must have been a great deal for them, the one under President Obama. Let me ask you while you're here, there's a new video from the Pentagon. We were talking about this earlier in the show. It shows a Venezuelan fighter jet aggressively shadowing a U.S. aircraft. What is that all about?
Yeah, well, it's the same sort of bravado that we've seen in the past from other countries. It's very dangerous. That's the problem. I used to fly aboard these aircraft years ago when I was in the Navy, and it can be very dangerous. There are a lot of people inside of that U.S. Navy reconnaissance aircraft, and if there's irresponsible airmanship going on, whether you're talking the Chinese, the Russians, or the Venezuelans in this case, it can be very dangerous and lead to an unnecessary crisis.
But they're just trying to show their strength and show that they're not backing down?
Yeah, I think that's the case. The one thing you have to really think about, Melissa, here is whether this was a rogue local commander or this is Venezuelan national policy. It's very important to figure that out. It could be just this pilot hot-dogging it. It could be a local commander telling the pilot to take these sort of actions, or it could be Venezuelan national policy, trying to make to look tough against the United States.
Interesting. Great analysis, Peter Brookes. Come back soon. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, find